How you guys doing out there? It's been a while. It's your boy, Baptist Minister. First of all, as always, we always started off with a little background information. I'm a community organizer. That's how I earn my living. That's my profession. I work with people of different faiths, different beliefs, trying to bring them together to give them the power and unity to voice their opinion in the political arena. I'm also a minister in Kojic. I'm a father of 3, married going on 10 years. I call myself Baptist Minister because, obviously after explaining what I do for a living, there's a lot of, headaches in that process. So when I come home after a long day of work, I come to the bathroom because that's the only place I really could reflect on my day. And I'm a very traditional person. I love to read the King James Version of the Bible. But however, in the bathroom, I only keep one version of the Bible, and it's called the book. And it's simply the living translation of the Bible, New Living Translation of the Bible. I'm going to come to you guys. We're going to go to Luke, the 7th chapter, and the 18th verse. And I want to point some out to you guys. So we're going to get right into it as always, right? The disciples of John the Baptist told John about everything Jesus was doing. So John called for 2 of his disciples, and he sent them to the Lord to ask him, "Are you the Messiah we've been expecting, or should we keep looking for someone else?" John's 2 disciples found Jesus and said to him, "John the Baptist sent us to ask, are you the Messiah we've been expecting, or should we keep looking for someone else?" At that very time, he cured many people of their various diseases, and he cast out evil spirits and restored sight to the blind. Then he told John's disciples, "Go back to John and tell him what you have seen and heard. The blind see, the lame walk, lepers are cured, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised to life, and good news is being preached to the poor." So, what's the point, Baptist Minister? Well, the point is this. Is you have to understand the history of John the Baptist. First of all, before Jesus came on the scene, John the Baptist was teaching and preaching, and he had a following. And the unique thing about John was that he separated himself from people, meaning that he denied everything of that time, and he went out into the wilderness, and he didn't even dress in any conventional clothes, So he wore animal skin, as his clothes, and the Bible said that he ate locusts and wild honey. So the whole time he out in the wilderness, he, as I was saying, he had a following, and he was teaching and preaching, "Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Now, John gave up all of those conventional things and went out to the wilderness and, lived the way that he lived and preached the sermons that he preached because he believed that a Messiah was coming, sent by God, that was going to do away with every evil government that was set up, or that evil government at the time that was set up. And so his thing was that his people was oppressed, and so the Messiah is going to come and was going to deliver them. And so, he gave up all of those things, believing that the Messiah was going to come. And so when Jesus came on the scene, when he fast forwarded and John, baptized Christ, and those of you that know the story, he said, your shoe latches, I'm not worthy to latch or lace, depending on what translation you read. Well, after John the Baptist baptized Christ, that Christ was led into the wilderness. Well, John's role has been completed according to scriptures. That was his role, to prepare the forerunner, to prepare the way for Christ. Now, John, at this present time, what we're reading in Luke the 7th chapter, we're reading John the Baptist is in jail right now, right? And so right now, King Herod is about, to cut off his head. And so John the Baptist finds himself in jail, and he's right now confused about his fate. And the reason why he's confused about his fate, because he gave up all of those things because he thought that when the Messiah come, that all of his trouble was going to be over. And now he's in jail about to get his head cut off. Think about that. He gave up everything to teach and preach the gospel. Now he's in jail and his head is about to get cut off. So he sent the disciples and said, "Look, are you the one? I do beseech another." John at that time, his faith had been mighty low. And so I want to reflect on that, is that sometimes we give up everything for the sake of the gospel, and when our faith get low, and it seems like all we did was in vain, I want to read this to you. In the 7th chapter, in the 24th verse, after they left, Jesus talked to the crowd about John. Who is this man in the wilderness that you went out to see? Did you find him weak as the reed, moved by every breath of the wind? Or were you expecting to see a man dressed in expensive clothing? No people who wore beautiful clothes and live in luxury are found in palaces, not in the wilderness. Were you looking for a prophet? Yes, he is more than a prophet. John is the man to whom the scriptures refer when they say, look, I am sending my messenger before you, and he will prepare your way before you. I tell you, of all who ever lived, none is greater than John. Yet, even the most insignificant person in the kingdom of God is greater than he is. So Jesus was saying that the John robe was so important that he didn't even recognize the magnitude. You see, I mentioned earlier that John had got a large following. And his purpose was simply to be the forerunner. His purpose was simply to come before Christ. And so now John finds himself in jail. And his disciples now is watching Christ. John's purpose was over. Can we have that much faith in God to when our purpose is over, we will be able to accept that we have done what we are supposed to do? Or do we seek the fame and the glory, the crowds? John the Baptist was confused because he believed that he denied himself all the pleasures of earth so the Messiah would come and fulfill his destiny. But remember, our purpose is whatever God said it is. So lean not to your own understanding. It's hard to deny yourself. But if you really love Christ, if you really love God, will your purpose be his purpose for your life? It's your boy, Pastor Minister. Love y'all. Hit me up, dbogen@charterinternet.com. That's DBOGEN @charterinternet.com. All lowercase. Get on with me. YouTube!